What is going on, guys? Off the back of the video from the other day, wanted to put together another bit of a test with Piett, seeing as though you guys like to see it. This time we're having a bit of a different take on things, so we are going with Piett Red for today. Didn't really quite get the combos that I was looking for with Piett Blue, so I figured I'd give something maybe a little more aggressive a go. So just to speak through what I've put together here, this is actually very similar to Veiled's list, if anyone has seen that. But yeah, look, with green and villainy, I like the combination of Yularen and Salacious Crumb together just for healing. What I think is especially good with that in this deck is Piett does seem to take a lot of damage in early game because this is a late game deck. So yeah, I'm hoping I can heal a little bit with that combo. We've got Force Choke just to deal with some ground units. Dealing 5 damage, that can take out your Sabines. It can take out some of that low, high HP units. We've then got Phase 3 Dark Trooper, as you would with any green villainy deck, to have a 3/3 Sentinel. Super Laser Tech resupply for our ramp, and now the Jump to Lightspeed card resupply carrier, which is amazing. I've got some more removal in here, Merciless Contest and Open Fire, pretty standard for what you'd see in these colors. Overwhelming Barrage, we're only running 2 copies of this just so we can have room for things like Devastators and Planetary Bombardment. Traitorous has actually been quite good as well. What I'm really liking about Traitorous in this set is that you can Traitorous an opponent's Lurking TIE Phantom because it's not capture, it's just take control. So that can do some work for us if we're able to run it. I highly recommend it in any green deck right now. Then into kind of the staples of what's great for any Piett deck right now. Gladiator Star Destroyer, we can play for 5. We've then got Ruthless Raider, which this is one of the main reasons we want this deck. Being able to play Ruthless Raider on your Piett deploy or for 5 resources is incredible. 3 of Planetary Bombardment, which, again, an incredible card in this set. Absolutely love it. Something I haven't played around with too much is Turbo Laser Salvo. We get to choose an arena and a friendly space unit deals damage equal to each enemy unit in that arena. What I like about this is being able to clear ground units. So that's what I'm hoping to kind of get off there. Into our late game, we've got our Quintons for even more ramp and a potential 6 cost. Ambushing 7/8 is amazing for us. New Devastator, where we assign indirect damage. Relentless, which is in there for the control matchup. By far our best closer is Devastator. Being able to play that for 8 again is amazing. And something I really wanted to test was Finalizer. So being able to capture units in the same arena with an 11/11 overwhelm is pretty big. That can be a closer for us too. Not really sure we can see that played too often, but we're going to see how it goes anyway. That's the deck, guys. Without any further ado, let's jump onto Petranaki and get some games. Just looking for literally anything here. I don't care what we play. And yeah, on my last video with Piett Blue, I went 1-4. The only reason I got the win is we made the opponent rage quit. So hopefully this time we can do a little bit better. Interesting matchup first. PALP 1 yellow. This is going to be tough. What I'm thinking here is keeping one of the Phase 3 Dark Troopers, keeping Salacious and Merciless. Devastator at Resource 8, I really don't want our opponent to steal with the PALP flip, so that's definitely something I'm not looking at playing until after PALP has been deployed. And I do like Traitorous because we can potentially steal things like Zuckuss, Forlom. That could be pretty big for us. An opponent opens with Bazine. Fantastic. Opponent took nothing. That's not too bad. What we'll do here is we'll just drop Salacious. I don't really want to use Merciless Contest on a Bazine. That doesn't really seem like too great value. And I think here we'll get rid of the Gladiator Star Destroyer. Okay, so opponent plays Super Laser Technician. I'll play Phase 3 Dark Trooper. Just to make it a bit bigger. Let's bounce Crumb into Bazine. Okay, so we got Open Fire, Super Laser Tech. I do like Super Laser Tech for some ramps, so maybe keep that. Maybe we'll drop Salacious. Ooh. Let's play Super Laser. This will probably mean us and opponent will both ramp at the same time, so that's not really a huge concern. Yep, fair enough. 3 resources left. I think we'll deploy Piett. That means next turn we can play our Quintons. Opponent resupplies. We'll take initiative. I feel like this is going to be a bit of a slow game. Ooh, Ruthless Raider is really good for us here. Yeah, we'll play Ruthless Raider, take out the Bazine and 2 to base. Opponent plays VADER. Contracted Jumpmaster 2/4. Okay. I'm not too worried about that two damage, so let's claim. Oh, Planetary Bombardment is great. Yeah, so opponent's probably going to take most of this to base here. He can use his PALP ability to deal 1 to my Ruthless Raider, and then he takes it. Yeah, I'm going to do that. I'll be interested to see what opponent does with this. I really like Planetary Bombardment with Piett Red. Okay. Bit of a tricky situation here because if I attack with Ruthless Raider, opponent can steal it with PALP, so I think I'll pass. That's not good. Let's pass again. Not sure if that's the right play. Okay. I don't think Finalize is going off here, so maybe we'll drop that. Opponent punches for VADER. That's fine. Let's open fire this just to make it a bit tougher for opponent to steal. Okay, so commandeer. Yeah, I should have been expecting commandeer and PALP yellow. This is tough. I think we just claim. Because the next turn we can play Devastator. Ruthless Raider will be bounced back to our hand. Or, yeah, okay, opponent defeats it. That's fair enough. Okay, so another Quintons and another Ruthless Raider. I definitely want that Ruthless Raider. I think what we'll do here is we'll use Piett's ability to play Devastator to take out Ruthless Raider. Opponent still hasn't deployed his Palpatine, so he can take that Devastator, which would be pretty nasty. This is tough. I don't think we're winning this one, guys. Nah. Yeah, that's it. No way out of this one. So that's GG. That was really tough. Help yellow with you know, the option to use things like Waylay or Commandeer. That can be a really tough time for our deck because we are faster. But then they can steal our big stuff, so that's not good. GG to our opponent. Alright, so we got ourselves Poe yellow. This will be a pretty fast deck, I imagine. Riot Girl CKB, appreciate the follow. This is a pretty good opening hand. I would like to see some ramp, so I think maybe, yeah, maybe we'll take Mulligan. That's much worse. I think we'll let go of one Gladiator Star Destroyer and Turbolazo Salvo. One thing I like to do is if I've got no turn one play, I like to pass. That way, opponent can take initiative and then play something better that I can remove with Merciless Contest, or there's really no harm in passing, especially if I've got a removal play. Yeah, so now we'll claim, I'll use Merciless Contest to remove that. Ooh, 2 Merciless Contests now. I kind of want to keep that, so maybe we'll get rid of... No, we'll drop a Merciless Contest. Opponent's going to play lots of cheap ships, so Traitorous could be good. Turn 3, you could see something like... I was going to say Millennium Falcon, but meaning the old one. So not surprised with that. Another Traitorous and Relentless. Relentless, I don't really like in this matchup because of things like Waylay, so we'll drop that. This is rough. We've got no play. Let's just pass and try and bait our opponent. That's rough. That can really slow down our game. Oh, there's punching for 6. That's okay. You know what I do like about this? Yeah, we can steal Falcon. We're gonna use Traitorous and take Falcon. Sorry about that. That one's mine now. Waylay. Oh. Alright. Back to square one. Let's deploy Piett. Poe Dameron on Piett. Let's punch for 2. Opponent's going to be going in for 6. Rough. Oh, 5, sorry. I can math. Alright, so the one good thing about this is that we can use our Quintons to take out the Poe and the A-Wing and ramp. So I think we just do that straight away. This is where we get big, guys. New Falcon. Let's go 2 to base. I imagine opponent goes base. Now what's he going to do with that Falcon? Is he going to bounce it back to hand or pay the Falcon tax? Okay, opponent keeps that. We can play Gladiator Star Destroyer for 4 and give a unit Sentinel. Which is good because then we can also play Ruthless Raider for 4. So I do like that. Let's drop that in. And what would we like to give Sentinel? Let's give Sentinel to the Gladiator Star Destroyer. Wait, a Falcon needs to be played with a pilot or with a surprise strike to be able to take it out. That's pretty good value. Now that's fatal. That puts us in a bit of a tough position. I think what we do is we will attack Piett into Poe Dameron, and that leaves Force Choke available. And now we... Oh, damn it, that's GG's. Let's take out a Falcon. Drop a Yularen. Oh, it might not be. I forgot about the heal. All really good cards here. I think we let go of an OB, and I hope opponent doesn't have Surprise Strike. He does not. Possibly a Daring Raid in hand. Or something like 4 Claws I may believe in. That's rough. That's rough. Let's OB. Just so I can try and go for maximum damage. Please don't have a 4 Cause or a Daring Raid. So we've got 18 on board and we can play Ruthless Raider. Okay. I want to keep the Gladiator Star Destroyer open just in case opponent plays another Falcon. He's passed. Yeah, he's waiting for us to do something. Okay. Alright, let's take that off the board. Oh, planetary bombardment's nice. I still want to keep one Quintons just in case a big unit comes out, so we'll resource one of those. Opponent passes. Now, if I play planetary bombardment, he has to take 12 to base, so this is where I really like using PB. So let's just throw that 12 straight to face. Opponent passes again. He's really trying to bait us, guys. Let's go 5 to base. Falcon in. That's another Falcon. Looks like that's GG. So, Piett 2 to base, and then we play Ruthless Raider to close out the game. There it is. GG. Sorry, opponent. We won't be rematching. This is BO1. Really good game in that one. I think that just came down to knowing what the opponent might play. I don't really think there are any misplays in there. That was just predicting what moves could be made, but I'm really happy with how that went. Rex Droid Manufactory. This would be interesting. I think this is a Unity of Purpose deck. So, if we're playing Unity of Purpose, I think I want a mulligan for Overwhelming Barrage, guys. There it is. Beautiful. Yeah, Unity of Purpose is a really good card. It's a combo deck, so you know, if you can't get it off, it does really ruin your day. Alas, great deck. Now I think we'll keep the resupply carrier just for potential ramp on our side. Yularen is good because we can heal. The Overwhelming Barrage is really is what's going to ruin this guy's day. Alright, let's drop Yularen. Alright, Salacious is good. Another Overwhelming Barrage is great. I think I take Salacious into the row. Now, I don't want the opponent to have units on board, so we're going to open fire, clone Deserter, and draw a card. Then another resupply carrier. That's great. Okay, opponent plays Blue Leader. 2 to base. I definitely want to clean up board with OP, but I also want to be the aggressor and go into base because opponent only does have 24 HP, so that could be pretty good. Super Laser is great because it can trade with a... Oh, okay. I can't say I was expecting Chewy here. This might not be a Unity of Purpose deck. Let's go 2 to base. Opponent might punch here with the Blue Leader. We drop Super Laser. Oh, should have waited a turn. My bad. Alright, so we're now in range of OB, which I do like. We'll deploy Piett. Alrighty. Let's go the Super Laser to the Echo base. Okay. We want to do your 4 damage. Unity of Purpose is next turn. So we need to be smart about this one, I think, guys. So let's play OB. And we want to get rid of different named units. So let's get rid of the opponent's Sentinel. Let's get rid of a Battle Droid. And then with Piett, we'll probably attack into Clone Deserter. Draw a card. Alright, Yularen to trade with a Battle Droid. That devalues Unity of Purpose. Okay, we can play Devastator and assign indirect damage, which is nice. Phase 3 Dark Trooper does help a little bit, but I don't think we need 2 OG Devastator. Bright Hope, opponent bounces a card. Fair enough. Alright, we're going to play Devastator and assign 4 indirect damage onto Blue Leader. Or do I just go base? Yeah, I think we'll just go back. Yeah, we'll go base because then next turn Overwhelming Barrage can get the Blue Leader. Resupply is probably no good to us here. We need to win. Unity of Purpose already. Alright. So. Opponent has lethal with 2 units. So, what we need to do here is we need to play Devastator, OG, defeat the Blue Leader. That will then stop the Bright Hope attack, and then we take 5. Hopefully he's got nothing else. Alright. We have to claim. Ooh. Now, what we'll do is we will play Overwhelming Barrage and be able to get the Rex, and that puts the opponent in a really tight spot. So we have the Sentinel in space, and we're wider than a Unity of Purpose deck. Guys, that's amazing. Wouldn't have called that at the start of this match. Alright, cool. We'll go 10 to base. And that's it. Opponent's called GG. Wow, I can't believe we went wider than a Unity of Purpose deck. And it was Rex. That's nuts. I knew that mulling for Overwhelming Barrage was the right play there. I'm really happy with how that one went. I think Piett Red might be the better deck, guys. Curious to know what you think in the chat. Got ourselves up against Cad Tarkentown. Interesting. Again, I feel like I'm probably looking for ramp here, so I'm going to take a mulligan. Oh, that's tough. All late game. Wow. Let's get rid of Finalizer and an OG Devastator. And I'm expecting a turn 1 play like Bazine. Okay, opponent claims straight away. That's alright. Alright, let's remove. So, second turn against a CAD, and we've already pretty much wasted 2 of their turns. I don't mind this position. OB here is good, but I feel like we probably want to see it a bit later. Fourth resource, we could expect to see something like a Forlom. We're not seeing now there are 2 of them, so that's good. And let's go for value. We'll go the Dark Trooper Sentinel and Salacious. Traitorous is great. I'd love it if the opponent doesn't attack and then we can just not capture, steal that IG 2000. That would be nice. Okay, he does. That's fine. Let's go 3 into base. Oh, we can't steal IG 2000, of course. Ooh. Okay. Let's bounce Crumb, deal 1. Now, I don't know how much value this is going to bring, but I'm thinking about deploying Piett. I know opponent may not be able to kill it, but he might have like a hotshot blaster or something in row. So I think, yeah, definitely let's drop Crumb. We'll deploy Piett. Let's go 2 to opponent's base and pass. And I like Force Choke here, because that can remove Zuckuss. I just hope that opponent hasn't got a hotshot blaster or something like that in row. That would suck. Okay, so 3 straight into base. It's interesting. I think what I'm looking for here, opponent's going to punch for 10. Let's go Devastator and put 4 on base. Let's put some... I want to be the aggressor. So we all know these CAD Tarkin Town decks can be very fast. Ooh, Bosk. That's tough. Deal 1 damage to something. Let's deal it to Crumb. Righto. Let's bounce Crumb. Deal 1 to Zuckuss. Opponent plays Cad Bane. That's fine. The question is, does Piett live? Do we just trade with that? Well, it's not even a trade. Yeah, let's kill Bosk. Yeah, of course. That's a great play, McClunky. He's going to Tarkin Town the Devastator, so let's just put the 2 onto Devastator. That sucks. Alright. Resupply carrier, no good. Alright, let's definitely force choke Zuckus. We need a way to deal with that CAD. We're also at the 7th resource, which means opponent can play the CAD unit of his own. So I want to be vigilant of what we put here. So maybe let's just go Crumb to heal. Alrighty. Relentless could be good. Turbo Laser would also be good. Traitorous, we could Traitorous the Crafty, which ain't going to take much value. Yeah, I think we get rid of Traitorous. Alrighty. So we play a 9 cost. Opponent is threatening 9. I think what we do here, guys, is let's play out Relentless. Be great if next turn Turbolato Salvo could just take out some things. This is a tough match. At least we won't see something like a surprise strike. He can't waylay. We can play 2 waylays, but it will be tougher. He can't play McClunky. Okay, so he kills Crumb. That's fine. Alright, we're going to take a lot of damage. We're going to take 11 damage right now. Possibly more. Tight spot. Wade, this is game 3, and so far I am 1-1. So, statistically speaking, I feel like I'm in a better place than Piett Blue. It's definitely much more of an aggro deck, this one, man. This is pretty tough for us now, guys. Turbo Laser Salvo is no good because it's just going to take off 2 shields. Crumb is not going to heal us enough to win the game. Gladiator Star Destroyer is not going to do anything. Look, I think the only option here is to play PB and just see what we can take out. This is me relying on the opponent not knowing how to assign indirect damage. So... Okay, you know me traditionally as a control player, Wado. I don't think Piett is a hard control or even like a big mid range deck. I think he's more soft control, which just does not suit my play style. I'd struggle with him in the early to this is Piett Blue, the early to mid game, and he's really a late game deck. Until then, you're not really doing anything, so it's just kind of like you're in this awkward spot. At least with Piett Red, you can play Ruthless Raider for 5, and then Planetary Bombardment the round after. what was also really interesting about this is that I mulled in my last match for an overwhelming barrage, and I ended up going wider and faster than a Rex Green Unity of Purpose deck. So that was pretty cool. But yeah, I'm playing this. I'm not really sure what I would compare this to. It's like a aggro mid range. That probably doesn't make sense. It's a fast mid range deck. Quentin's is probably a bit late here. I like the super laser for ramp. Resupply carrier is good, and we'll get rid of one of the crumbs. Alright, so what I'm thinking here is passing. If opponent plays something like a Daring Raid, Salacious can heal one of that. If opponent claims, we just get rid of their next play with Merciless. So we've got nothing to lose. Ooh, opponent might have 2 turn 1 plays. So I think I'll play Crumb. That way I can then bounce a Stormtrooper if he doesn't have a second turn 1 play. And he did. So yeah, we'll bounce Crumb to take out that Stormtrooper for sure. And I like Devastator. Considering this is a new Vader, he would have potentially a lot of 1 HP units. So 4 indirect damage across potentially 4 units could be great. So I'll keep that for later, let's just say. And yeah, first action, I'm going to bounce Crumb and get rid of that Stormtrooper. Ooh. I like Merciless here because he's either going to get rid of a 3-2 or he's going to get rid of Victor Leader. So let's see. I was planning Super Laser Tech, but to remove... Yeah, I thought he was going to get rid of that. So no damage. Now we're on to the second turn. I like this spot. This is great. Turbo Laser Salvo could be great because that's a board wipe. Maybe we don't need the second Devastator. TIE Bomber, yucky. I hate this card. If you play this card, you are a sad, sad person. Nah, it's a really good card. Let's play Crumb and Hill. Devastator, fantastic. That would really suck for our opponent. Now we can play Resupply Carrier for this turn. Yularen, I'm not going to go too wide on, so we'll let him go. Yeah, Resupply Carrier. What came into the row? Resupply. That's perfect. So play Resupply Carrier and then put Resupply into your row. What more could you want? Yeah, it will be, but I'm not sure we're going to take a hell of a lot of damage, man. Which is why I thought to possibly get rid of it. Alright. I'm going to bounce Crumb and deal 1 to that TIE Bomber. Wait. Oh, it has to go to a ground unit, of course. I don't mind that. If I had my time again, I probably would have attacked before Super Laser first. I completely forgot about that. So what are we doing here? We're taking 3 indirect. Let's go 1, 2, 3. I would expect opponent to make a token here, so let's drop Crumb. How much does that token mean to you? Not a lot. Fair enough. Alright, guys. We can play Devastator now. Or we can flip Piett and play Big Devastator. Nasty. Yep. That's a fair trade. Alright, opponent will probably deploy Vader onto that Victor leader, so I want to get out Piett and stop that from happening. Because then he will be able to trade. Let's deal 3 to Piett, because I don't imagine he can really stop that. Now we'll play Devastator, remove that. I like this spot. I like this spot a lot. Alright. He probably takes out Piett here. If he takes out Piett, that's fine. We can still play Devastator. The 1 damage doesn't really mean a lot, so I'm just going to claim. And then we'll play new Devastator and remove the TIE Bomber, I think. Oh! Wow, I've never thought about a Vader's lightsaber on new Vader. This guy is cooked. You have to deal it to a unit. Oh. Turbo laser salvo can destroy that Vader, which slows down opponent. So let's do that, eh? And I haven't actually used this before, so I might make a misplay. Yep. Boom. Oh. We're going to put that all on Crummy Boy. We're going to play another Crummy Boy. Ha ha ha! 2 Devastators. Love it. I don't think we need Merciless. Alright, new Devastator. And we're going to deal 4 indirect to the TIE Bomber. I still can't believe that Vader's lightsaber on the Vader unit. That's awesome. Love it. Let's bounce Crummy Boy to not take 3 damage next turn. Opponent claims. Ooh, he might be out of ideas. I'm not resourcing. OB and Ruthless Raider is perfect. Alrighty then. Dogfight. Ah, yeah. Yep, fair enough. Alright, Devastator, let's deal 4 to base. Oh! Another OB. See, this seems to be good into wide decks. Alright, cool. Cool, man. I'm going to OB that. We punch with Devastator, play Ruthless Raider, and it's GG. We'll just type that one in the chat and get it ready. Okay, opponent must have disconnected. It looks like we got some time up our hands. How's this weather? Yep. GG. Old mate has disconnected. Alrighty. I like to keep these at 4 games each. Piett Red, 2-2. That's better than blue. I had a lot of fun with this deck today. Definitely started to learn a little bit more as we got there. We'll just flick back here, talk about what was good. So, yeah, in one of the games, I can't remember who we played, but Planetary Bombardment when the opponent had no units, and I had, I believe it was, I think it was Gladiator Star Destroyer on board. Opponent has to take 12, which was great. I'm really happy to see that I actually got off a Turbo Laser Salvo play and destroyed the Vader. That was pretty sick. New Devastator was great into the wide deck, so that was like really clutch in the matchup with Rex and the Vader Red, as was Overwhelming Barrage in almost any matchup. I think my takeaways from this is I definitely want to put OB up to 3 in this list. That would be amazing. Finalizer we didn't get to play. I think that might be a sideboard card if I'm honest. So yeah, I'll probably look at removing that and putting in OB. Traitorous is good, but we didn't get it to pop off in that. Force Choke we did use a couple of times to remove some ground units that were threatening damage, so I liked that. Yeah, guys, let me know in the comments what you think, what you'd add to this. I like Piett Red better than blue. I'm just going to say it. And on that note, I'm going to wrap up. Thank you all for watching, and thanks for supporting the channel. I appreciate you.